Listen, religion was designed to keep you docile. I'm going to show you a clear illustration of what many consider to be a bright mind when it comes to the ensuing financial crisis that many of us in the world are preparing for. As you're going to see George Hunter interview Catherine Fitz, and she's going to give her take along with George chiming in initially of what he feel the answer should be to such what they would call nail-biting decisions of what do you do when your government or when your leadership is being pressed to protect their people. I'm going to give my take, but I'm going to let you watch the video so you can give yours. Here we go.
If this thing gets out of hand with, and they're, these people are stupid, right? I mean, they knew God, but they glorified him not, professing themselves to be wise. They became fools. It says in Romans 1:21 and 1:22, these people are stupid. Okay?
So I really believe they're stupid. I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to stop you there.
Okay, but I think they're stupid.
You're the president of a country,
yes.
Right? And you know who Spectre is in the James Bond movies?
Yes.
Spectre calls you and says, if you don't do what we say, if you don't institute a quota to depopulate, we're going to turn off your rain. We have the satellite network. We have the invisible weaponry. We have the space weaponry. We're going to turn off your rain. What would you do?
Send a kill team out? Be war? I don't know. I guess this is how they're getting people in knuckle under. I mean, they had the I think were you on talking about this? There were somebody in Canada was thanking the people who sent the rain.
Right.
I mean, geoengineering. Dane Wigington, brilliant guy. He's totally in control with HAARP and the chemtrails and the solar radiation altitude, solar radiation management, and all that. So I don't know. Are you thinking it's getting this bad?
You're not a bad guy. You're a guy who's being blackmailed, and you're trying to do the right thing.
That's why we need Jesus to come back.
Yep.
I mean, this is some evil stuff here. Okay, well, how can this go wrong for I hate to talk about how smart these guys are because I do think they're stupid. And they're generationally stupid. They are. They are stupid. They don't believe in God. They believe in the black hole of nothingness. And They are stupid. So how can this go bad for these stupid people that are stupid?
So it's a big planet. It requires a lot of complicated operations, and people, when they compete, have trouble collaborating. You don't have a cultural glue to hold the system together. So, it's the story of Judges where the Midianites are so evil and suspicious and competitive with each other, they jump up in the dark and kill each other. But, for that to work, Greg, we have to bring transparency to what they're doing, and we have to stop helping them. When you have millions of Christians working to help them implement, that doesn't help. It doesn't help the process of getting them to turn against each other.
Don't bank at JP Morgan.
Exactly.
Don't bank at Wells Fargo. Don't bank at, get small. Right. Get out of debt. Don't owe them things. Don't owe them anything.
Pay with cash.
This is exactly why they gave you television, to tell you the vision that they wanted you to have. Listen, it's a reason why they always have in these movies, these Marvel comic movies, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, the X-Men. That's why they always have them saving you and not you saving yourself. I say it one more time. That's why they always have them saving you and not you saving yourself. You see how that coincides with the whole Allah, Jesus, Buddha, Confucius, you fill in the blank narrative in terms of having someone to save you? Religion was created to keep you docile. I'm telling you this because I know it. I used to be a very, very, very heavy involved church person out in the streets, out basically calling myself, declaring and taking the gospel to the streets and things of that nature. And it'll keep you from doing what needs to be done because you're relying on what's being taught to you, what's being instilled in you, as opposed to what relying on what comes naturally. I'll give you another prime example. George Hunter, the gentleman interviewing Catherine Fitz, George Hunter actually initial response was that of a human response. The innate response was, hey, we send out a team, we take care of this tyranny, and we do what men do. We do what upright, righteous, standing people do. But you know what? He backed down, he cowered down. And then when all else fails, it's like a drug, Jesus, or fill in the blank. They are designing this stuff in predictive programming so you will actually lean on these crutches in your time of uncertainty, in your greatest time of uncertainty. That's what it's all about. So why am I saying this? Why am I bringing this to you all? So you can get out these temples, these mosques, these churches, these infrastructures that are doing you no good. They're not doing you good in terms of your time. They're not doing you good spiritually. They're not doing you good mentally, and they ain't doing you good physically, because you can still be resting and regenerating or re-energizing, if you will, in terms of getting prepared for the next day, etc. And I could spend some time on that. I mean, the way women will run and men will run, but let's keep it real, especially our women, the way they will run for these churches and the pastors and what he needs to be done. What he needs, what he needs to be done. What he needs in terms of, hey, take care of this, take care of that event. We need someone here, we need someone there. Yeah, you could be resting, you could be getting a lot of it. So I want to let y'all know the Bible is not a history book. It's never been deemed a history book. Anybody that's ever really been a student of just history, of just timelines in and of itself, you know that the Bible is not a history book. So let's stop faking the funk. Like, the Bible has some credence in that respect. And that's for every other religious book as well. None of these books are history books. You can't find these fictional characters anywhere on the real world timeline. I'll say that again. I love how big my eyes got. I hope you guys read into that. You can't find any of these fictional characters on the real world's timeline. So again, both of them, Catherine co-signed on what he said. Her analogy is the thing that really grabbed me the first time. If a leader is being pressed, and basically his response is to one that said, we're going to cut off your weather. We have your people. You tell them to do this, or not, or if not, we're going to cut ties, And her response was, well, he's not a bad person. I mean, that is by definition of how you find out what a person really is made of. So yes, that person really is a bad person, because that person is not righteous. Because if he or she is righteous, they will stand up for righteousness. And actually, George Hunter, his response was a righteous response initially. But again, it's the coward tucking your tail between your legs, that flight, that action of flight as opposed to standing firm. So it's a lot I could say on that, but that's the whole purpose of this segment, is to let you guys see how this woman has written books. I have a couple of her books. She talks about the financial crisis. This interview is about the ensuing financial crisis and things to come. And it's actually hypothetical. That's why she gave that analogy in terms of what could transpire. And if it did, what do you do? The solution is not waiting on a Jesus. These are bedtime stories. I mean, I'm not even going to go into all the things I can go into. That's for another time. The whole purpose, again, is so you can see that, wow, I got people in quote unquote leadership positions that are thinking like this. I got people that are writing books. I got people that are standing on the front line that are thinking like this. They think this is a good idea. This is why this religious mindset is not going to lead to any form of liberation. It never has, and it never will. As a matter of fact, it's been historically the complete opposite. The super zealous religious mindset are more prone to oppress others and foreigners around them or who they come in contact with. I'll say it again. Historically, it's proven unequivocally that the religious, superzealous mindset is more prone to oppress those that they're around or the foreigners that they come into contact with. Y'all think about that. Let that marinate. Take that to church. Peace. Let's get it right. Let's stop this. Let's think soundly. Let's free ourselves. That's what my whole channel is about right now. Let's free ourselves. And we all need each other to do it. Peace.